What's going on, guys? This is Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and today the Houston Cougars lose to the Tennessee Volunteers 76-73. The Cougs take their first loss of the season. Volunteers now 7-0, and Tennessee gets their upset win against the Cougs. Cougars get their first loss of the season, and number 17 takes down number 3 Houston. Look, I think it's a tough loss. Second night of a back-to-back. Cougs last night had to fight against Syracuse, had to play an overtime game, a game that should have never went to overtime. And so the Cougs last night, I think, had to put a lot of energy into a win against Syracuse to go to 6-0. And then you've got to play another good team again tonight on second night of a back-to-back with playing an overtime loss yesterday. And so that, unfortunately, you've got a loss here tonight. But look, I wasn't expecting this team to go undefeated. This definitely, I looked at the schedule, to start the year. This was definitely a game I hoped the Cougs would win, but not a game I guaranteed as a win. And so they dropped this one, but they weren't going to go perfect. I'd like to see this team not go over 5 losses this year. I think that's definitely realistic. Or maybe if they could stay right at 4, that'd be great. But, they weren't going to go undefeated. That just wasn't going to happen. But maybe this was one they should have won, but they didn't. They lost by 3, 76-73. I think one thing that definitely hurts the Cougs tonight is not getting Emmanuel Sharp to not only not play the minutes that he played last night, but play the way he did last night. Emmanuel Sharp was over 20 points last night. He only had 8 points today. 3 for 8 from the floor, 2 for 5 from the 3, and only played 21 minutes. But Kingston Flemings was really good again. 25 points, 10 for 15 from the floor, 3 for 4 from the 3, 4 rebounds, with 3 assists and 2 steals. He was really good in this game, at least for the Cougs. But then Miles Uzan had 17 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and so that was really good for the Cougs. But outside of Flemings and Uzan, the Cougars only had 2 guys in double figures in this game tonight. That really hurt them. And it's not like the free throw line really hurt the Cougs in this game. I mean, I guess if the Cougars would have made every single free throw they made in this game would have been in overtime. But it's hard to go perfect at the free throw line. They went 8 for 11 from the free throw line. They shot a lot better than Tennessee at the free throw line. Tennessee was 23 for 29. But the 3-point shots, I think, didn't go as down as you would have liked. The 3-point shooting hasn't been perfect this year. 9 for 24 today. It's not absolutely horrible. It's 38% from 3. But I'd like to see that at 40%. And they were only 46% from the floor, which, they did shoot. Their 3-point percentage was higher than Tennessee's, but their field goal percentage was lower than Tennessee's. And this was just a tight game at the end that the Cougs couldn't win. And they've had two difficult nights in a row now, putting a team away. They couldn't close the deal against Tennessee tonight. They couldn't close the deal against Syracuse last night in regulation. They had to go to overtime. They couldn't do that last night. They had to go to an overtime game against Syracuse to get a win. So these last 2 nights, I think, have been frustrating for the Cougars, having to go to overtime against Syracuse, and then now losing the Tennessee. But hopefully they're able to bounce back. And after tonight, we see 7-1 instead of 6-1. You guys give me your thoughts on this Cougs 76-73 loss in the comment section, and peace out.